All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your least favorite podcast, where it's your least favorite RPG gamers, Getselious and Sithscott.
Hello.
And you are now in this ninth save of the Support Save Scumming Podcast. Say that fast for a couple of times, see how quick you get there.
The ninth save of the ninth Support Saving Scum podcast. Yeah,
Close
I'm not
enough.
going to say that faster.
No. Close. It's still close. Close enough. We got there. And this has been a pretty interesting month for RPGs in general. And before we get into talk about RPGs or the one we'll probably talk about forever, RPGs you played recently. I'm gonna kick it off. So I only played two RPGs. I've only played Final Fantasy 14. I've been on my PvP grind. I got my rank back. And from a guy who threw my game and maybe lose a lot of points after that. Well, lose points after that. So I got my rank back. I'm not a top player, but I got my rank back. That's all I care about. So I might push harder later. And I've also played this small independent RPG made by one guy and his dream in a cave in Hiroshima, Japan. Which he's not from there. I actually think he's from somewhere else. He actually made this game driving a speed car because he's a tofu delivery man, just like Takuma and Takumi in Initial D, jokingly. But if you know what I'm referring to, I play a lot of Trails of Sky remake, the first chapter. The streams are on YouTube. I are very long for obvious reasons. So and I also played the demo as well. So the demo, if you guys want to do it, play the demo. Get transfer your save data to the main game. So thumbs up on that. So that's what I've been playing. Only those two games. Scott, what have you been playing?
Well, I have a whole three games.
Three games? Oh my god! Three? Oh god.
Alrighty, so the first one is Varlet or Varley. It is a game by the well, it's interesting. It's a collaboration development team between Furyu and Akuria. So for those of you who don't know, Furyu does a lot of like very low budget RPGs because they don't have a lot of money, and a lot of them are basically their own studio. They are a studio that branched off of old Atlas. After like SMT switched to Persona more so than SMT, which is that's a whole fun dynamic to have to worry about. But anyway, so Furyu and Kuria is the team that develops SAO, all of the SAO games basically, but like two of them. But essentially, it's a very interesting dynamic of self-discovery of you being a student in this academy and trying to, ironically, the organization in that game is also SSS, but it's the student support section.
Right, of course. We have no affiliation with them. With this, we also support something, but not students. We support another technique.
Well, you can save scum in the game.
That's right. Which also means, I'm not conspiracy posting here, but put it together, guys. Come on.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about the self-discovery thing is it also is based on like your personality will be on how your character will fight and how they will interact with the other like team members that they have, which is really fun and interesting. And every time you get like a dialogue choice, depending on your like affinity, if like your affinity is more like sympathetic or altruistic or valor, you'll have different dialogue options based on that. So you could essentially do multiple runs of this game with doing different like personality types to see what dialogue options you get, which I think is really cool. The actual like most of the other stuff isn't necessarily bare bones, but it's simplified enough that you will understand. And I think they did that because if you look at a lot of the like the Furyu games of like, well, basically like Caligula Protocol, if you have Monarch or even like Granatus, they kind of overcomplicate a lot of their systems, and it generally makes a lot of people confused, and then they don't like the game. Whereas I have the opposite effect, where I kind of like really love the overcomplicated systems because I like getting into like the the depths of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So
that's
it being a little more simplified isn't as fun, but it does make sense of why they did it that way. But
yeah.
I do think it's really cool that it changes like your personality also changes your gameplay style. So you have like two basic modes of either the leader or you can be a ruler of your classmates. So the leader provides a lot of buffs and debuffs the enemy. The ruler provides a lot of damage output, but also the damage also hurts you and your teammates. So it's just kind of like, are you the someone who wants to get the job done, whatever the cost, or do you want to have everybody survive the encounter? So that's the really
Yeah.
cool thing about Varley. The other game that I've been playing is one that I didn't know is as old as it is, but it's a Claydoon X3. So this is a NIS game. NIS America had brought it over finally. So these Claydoon games started off in like the 2010s on the PSP, where it's a lot of like pixel collaboration, where you create your character, then you can create the types of like equipment they have, or you can use a preset to do a lot of like different action combat dungeons, and you then have a lot of different weird systems. So Claydoon, at least X3, kind of gives you a lot of systems in the beginning. And even though like I like having a lot of systems, it felt a little overwhelming for me because of how fast everything just shows up. It's like, oh, now you have access to this, and then it gives you like 40 pages of tutorial notes to look over, and it's like, okay, I didn't know I had to read a novel to play the game, but here we go. But it is still really fun, and I just really like the aesthetics and the fact that you can have a pixel by pixel editor in the game. So if you are very creative and you do like pixel aesthetic games, then this is definitely a really fun and good time for you. And then the final game is also Trails in the Sky First Chapter,
That's crazy.
which we will talk a lot more about in this podcast.
Yeah, we probably will. That's heads up. The Trails fans talk about Trails games. Oh my god.
What a thunk.
Who would have thought? I feel like I would call the For You games, I don't want to say small. I would call them the indie or smaller titles. I feel like that's kind of what they are. They're like single indie or like double A-ish games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I feel like we call them games. But yeah, check them out. They're very interesting RPGs. I mean, if you like RPGs, and you do, check them out. So the first topic we're going to talk about is having a small publisher. You probably heard of Square Enix to make the Final Fantasies. They made 14 of them, or is it 16 of them? Pick one.
Yeah.
Just pick one.
Or
And
you can pick like 3 of one of them if you want to get 13 or 7.
Oh god, yeah, depending, yeah, exactly. So, as we mentioned in our previous podcast and for Dragon Quest 7 remake is happening.
It is real.
It's real. It's happening, and the game is being reimagined from the ground up. So it's like a full-fledged remaster. This isn't like the 2D HD reports that was done for Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3. So I'm kind of interested to see that, you know? What do you think about it?
I'm really interested in this, especially because if you've been keeping track of some of the details, they actually go over of how they also understand that Dragon Quest VII was probably one of the most divisive entries in the series because of how long the story and how much grinding you had to do in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So this reimagining is apparently supposed to make the game go from like a 100-hour experience to like a 50-hour experience to 60 hours. So they're cutting a lot of the grinding and a lot of the fluff out of the game to make it a lot more approachable. Because if you are someone who, say, got in because of, say, Dragon Quest, the 1, 2, and 3 remakes, or Dragon Quest 11, and you want to play 7 because 8 is always another one that is very popular, so you want to play the one before that for whatever reason, and you play 7, you might get turned off because of how long it is, how kind of grueling the actual game is.
Yeah, it's like the thing about the problem with 7 is that 7's like, I would say the side quest system felt jank. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but it's pretty jank. It's pretty jank. But yeah, I feel like because the problem is that like the issues is that like, so Dragon Quest has been kind of grinding their games, but with the remake, people may have an anticipation that Dragon Quest is a faster turn-based RPG. It never was, buddy. No, it's not. It's definitely not.
It really wasn't.
It was. You sit down, and you better pray that your food, whatever food is next to you, will keep you alive for the next 6 hours. And what's interesting, what's interesting though about DQ7 is that I would say artistically, they have redesigned some of the characters, and the current art direction for some people has made them feel really divisive. certain
Yeah.
because they don't because a lot of these characters like they are, by the way, they were drawn by Toriyama. Okay, so don't no conspiracy posting here. Okay, they were drawn by Toriyama back in the day. Let's get that out the way. Okay, first, so but they look extremely different compared to DQ 1, 2, 3, Chrono Trigger, 11. They look way a bit more, at least with the 3D engine is showing, look more doll like. They look like clay
Yeah.
animation dolls. They look like you see like Rudolph Red-Nosed Reindeer. If you've ever seen that as a kid, those puppet animations.
Yes. It's similar to what I like to think of. If you've played the Dragon Quest V remake that was on the PS2, that's the kind of art style it reminds me of, like the model clay, like vision. It's just like a lot. It's a lot more high fidelity than the PS2's version.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, like where, I mean, it's not the classic high. It's not the classic. It's like high fidelity art style you expect to pick up from, I would say jokingly, from Yeast Origins, you know, God's gift of
Yeah.
gaming. God's gift to gaming, but you know, it is what it is. But I do am interested to see this. I'm interested to see like how the game goes and how they rebuilt it to the ground up. I think that I think so far they have announced that the regular version of the game will be $59.99 and a digital deluxe will be $74.99 USD. So at least the game pricing isn't bad. Let's
Yeah. At
that's
least you're not getting $80 games.
yeah, exactly. The only thing I would find interesting though is that like I with this if this game is successful, I wonder if we're gonna get one of my favorite DQ games outside of 5. 9. 9 is it's
Yeah.
like 9 is a step up if you like DQ3. Let's put it that way. It is a step
Yeah.
up.
If you like the job system, 9 is basically that on steroids.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And in 5 you can get married. So Heavenly Bride,
Yeah.
baby. And
Because that's the only thing you remember. No.
look, man, I didn't play an RP. Look, I didn't play an RPG just because I wanted to save the world. I played RPG because I wanted to start a family because I was a lonely 18-year-old whose only dreams in life was to either pass college or die trying. And I had a wife. You can get a wife too. Holy bro, hands up, caught. HD.
Gotta introduce you to this series called Harvest Moon.
Got it off his mood. Caught. Oh god. But yeah,
Or Story of Seasons now.
Story of Seasons now. Yeah, they changed the title somewhat. Yeah. But speaking of Dragon Quest V, man. So, yeah, Yuri Hoji has spilled the beans. And commented on various locations people recorded that. Yeah, we're working on we're making a remaster Dragon Quest 4 through 6. We're doing the second arc, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, we're getting the Scythian trilogy, which is amazing.
This is amazing. I'm like, I couldn't believe it because it's like, okay, so this is what happened. Let me give you a Dragon Quest breakdown. Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3, the Eldritch Saga. Fantastic. It's so good they have manga to think about it. This is considered, for most, peak. Because it was like,
Yeah.
it was an RPG. And everyone had an adventure. And some people realized that their dad was not a great king. Spoilers. Then we get
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought that? But you still get an adventure. Dragon Quest 4 through 6 is another saga. Good as a story, good character development, would recommend 10 out of 10. You realize that maybe your friends need help too. Dragon Quest 7 through 9, roughly all independent games. They're all independent stories. 10 is an MMO we didn't play, you can skip that. And 11, peak. Literally 11 peak. So it's like
11 is peak.
yeah. So it's like yeah. So the fact that we're getting the second series is crazy. They're working on it, and it's like I can't believe it. Yeah, I can't believe it, bro. It's so exciting. Like yo, it's like unironically, DQ fans are eating good because if you wanted to play DQ games and you were really into them, you could if you got into Dragon Quest, mostly because of Dragon Quest 11, you probably would have like, well, how do you get the other games? Good luck. You had to either retro farm them, which I do not recommend, or use the 7 Cs and then make sure you can run the 7 Cs. Your boat steers partly, make sure your boat can turn left and right. Don't go. You don't want to bump into Nintendo cops or any other people. And then your other option, and I kid you not, was not getting it. Those are your options. Either you become a master pirate salesman, you had buco bucks to buy it outright with the original console ports, or you just don't have it. So as a DQ fan, if you came in from 11, we just got to get an HD remakes of 1 through 3, which is fantastic. They're really
Yep.
fantastic games. 3, I think, did such a damn good job with the remakes. It's amazing.
Yeah.
As someone who played a lot of DQ3, I actually own Dragon Warrior 3 for the Game Boy Color port of it. That's how much I love Dragon Quest. Like, it's up there.
No.
Yeah, I own that. So, like, yeah. So it's like that was my jam. So that was it in a nutshell. So GQ3 is special, one of my top games of all time, and hence I love DQ9 so much. But the fact that they're remaking 1 through 6, we're getting them, and 7, I'm just like very excited. As a DQ fan, you're getting traditional RPGs. You know, Square Enix is making turn-based RPGs, guys. They're making turn-based RPGs.
Yeah, which if you're someone who is so sad that Final Fantasy isn't turn-based, well, then Dragon Quest has been the same kind of turn-based for years.
Literally for years, they have not strayed away from the formula or from God. The only thing they ever updated was the graphics and the music, and then when they got the Tokyo Orchestra music, they kind of hit peak, and that's when you can say yes, we have achieved God.
Yes. So yeah, I think I'm super excited for this. I really do love the Dragon Quest series. And I also agree with you that we need to have 9 remade, if not only just so we can get it off of the DS only
Bingo.
situation.
Bingo.
It's still only on the DS. Like, it hasn't been put anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly. And what's also funny is that Mr. Yuji Horii has also hinted that there will be potential, maybe we're getting remakes of DQ 1, 2, and 3. Maybe we're getting remakes of that. So a remaster and a remake of the Eldric's. Oh my, I'd be like, Eldric, I'm like, oh my god, I will legit like. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my god, let's fucking go. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So I think what he was talking about, I don't know if the here now, was that all of these projects were being made around the same time, and they were just gonna release whichever one was up first.
oh my god.
And 1, 2, and 3 was the ones that were first done. So 3 got released, and then 1 and 2 was almost gonna be released. And then they're wondering if 4, 5, or 6 would be the next 7 that got done, because 7 was by itself, and 4, 5, 6, I guess, is also in their own thing.
That's crazy.
So that's really interesting of how many projects that they have of Dragon Quest going on at like the same time.
It also shows like the Square Enix multi-management strategy. The multi-management they do is crazy. Just for Dragon Quest in general, that team is just crazy. By the way, DQ they're also still working on DQ 12. By the way, I just want you to know that's also on the burner.
Yeah, that's still coming out eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah. So so that's just crazy. Just like the crazy stuff is happening there. It's like, god dang, these guys are just machines. I mean, machines pumping out good stuff. I'm gonna let it rock. Those are machines pumping out good stuff. So man, whew, I can't wait for it. I misquoted myself there, but I'm too excited. So good. But I think there's a game you want to talk about particularly because you played this game at PAX West this year, and I think it's
Yes,
the Digimon Story game, I believe.
Yeah, so Digimon Story Time Stranger. I got to play a whole like 4 hours of it. But publicly, one of the demo for the first 2 hours of the game just got released. So the 4 hours that I played was the first 2 hours of the game, which is the first part of the demo covers, and I played in something called the Abyss, which is its own like 2 hours of you getting access to all these Digimon, and like it's a whole story of helping Shellmon and get rid of the Titan. And it was a really interesting and engaging story. And it also, I think, does a lot for this to connect to the Digimon world. But so the interesting thing is the next part of the demo was not this, what I was wondering, because they added another playable section in one of the other towns where they also give you a variety of different champion level Digimon that you can basically de-digivolve and then digivolve again to get like different ones if you want. But it's a lot smaller. It's like a 25-minute excursion for this rather than another like whole 2 hours of the Abyss. So it's really interesting in the demo. But I think it's because they didn't want to give you too much in this demo. They wanted to just give you enough to be like, it's gonna be great, but we don't want to basically give you everything. But then again, it's on PC, so most people have already data mined everything. So from the demo, so that's always fun. It's one of the sad things about PC gaming nowadays is just if anything gets put on PC, it's gonna be data mined immediately.
True. That's just like that's just a fact of reality. It's so true.
Yeah.
I feel like though, like from a standpoint though, I can't wait for all those data miners feeling really happy that they know 100% about a game that's coming out and put it out there. And to this day, I never understood the logic of if you know, why would you tell? Or what do you gain from telling it, right?
Yeah.
That's like, let's put it this way. Scott and I have beaten Trail to the Sky. I want to say at least in our lives, maybe one to two times, right? At best three.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think what we should do is just post the spoilers, the entire story on Twitter on day release.
I mean, people have already done that. And
Wow,
heck,
what
people did
dirtbags!
that 2 days before the game got released, even.
What dirtbags? Oh,
Um,
never mind. What dirtbags?
yeah.
But it's like, what do you
Yeah,
gain
no,
from
I
doing
hate
that? Yeah, like, what do you gain from doing that? Like, it's just so weird. Like, I never
that.
understood that. Like,
Clicks.
like I feel like okay, you data mine Digimon, you want to know what's in the game. Okay, cool, you know everything. Fine, you're gonna play the game. What else are you gonna do after that? I don't understand. I never understood it. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Good luck. I guess good luck beating the game with your War Greymon that you know you can make max stats now. I guess. Good
People
luck.
have max stats on the rookie Digimon in the first 2 hours of the game already. But that's
Oh,
also
man.
just shows just how extensive you can max out your Digimon by de-digivolving and then digivolving, digivolving, and then digivolving to increase their maximum potential. So you can get
Jesus.
them. You can do a lot of breaking this game if you really wanted to, just by using what the demo gives you.
That's
But
hilarious.
it just goes to show just how extensive that they made this game in terms of the JRPG elements of it. Which honestly, even if you're not a Digimon fan, I do think this is a game for you if you are a JRPG fan, because there are just so much content and mechanics to really enjoy about this game.
That sounds fun. I mean, I'm not really typically into monster collectors much. Like for monster collector games, I usually have like a niche or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm glad it does well. People like the game. I hope it does well. I hope that I mean, it's politely. I hope that the game does well enough where they could just resell the Agumon plushie toys and make $1 billion and then never make a Digimon game for the next 20 years. That's the future. That's the dream. And speaking of the dream, we're finally here for it. We're finally here. We're going to talk about the real point of this podcast, Tactics Ogre. The greatest RPG has been played. And now we're also getting Final Fantasy Tactics. So, it's like Tactics Ogre
Yeah.
2, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can't wait to actually no. No, don't leave. I was joking. We're talking about Trails in the Sky First remake. The game is out. Oh my god, it's so good. It's before we talk about our point of the game, I want to say that one of the interesting things I've seen done about the game is that certain websites. Shout out to RPG website and shout out to HT Kieran, good friend. I respect you as a writer for years, following you. Their website did 2 reviews. One by an actual person who is a fan of the Trails who played it, and one person who didn't. I think it was a really cool concept.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too, and they all agreed on it actually being a 10 out of 10. So, they came to the same conclusion, even though they have completely different mindsets going into this game.
Yeah, RPG person. Yeah, so it's really cool they did that. Yeah, I think those like I think also too like with RPG website, I'll self-included review the game. We'll talk about our impressions of review the game in a second. And even myself. I think everyone who's played the game and overall the review scores have been phenomenal for the game. It's been
Yeah.
it's been a god's gift.
It's like I think the 4th highest Metacritic right now of the year.
Yeah,
So it's doing very well for itself.
it's doing critically. Yeah, so you guys should really check it out critically. And here's the thing: if you're still on the fence, play the demo, and if when you beat the demo, all your saves in the demo go to the main game when you buy it.
Yeah, and the demo has a lot of meat to it.
Yeah, it took me 11 hours to beat the demo, and that's me grinding side quests. So I just want you to know that 11 hours. That Dorothy fight's no joke. She was a joke in the original. She's not a joke now.
Yeah, they are definitely not a joke.
Well, they were. They
They are
were.
actually
Yeah.
in real graphics now.
Real graphics, real thuggery. And speaking of real things to talk about, I think you mentioned in your review that this is a remake and people aren't happy with some elements of the translations, and to the point that
Yeah.
they have 180 themselves to believe that the XT translation was the real translation, and we're old enough, or like not old enough, we've been around long enough to know that Xseed was hated back in the day for their
Yeah.
translation. So I'm like, my brother in Christ, you just hate Trails? It's just like, so you just hate Trails?
There are some people that do, but it's really interesting. So this is the different translation than the Exceed one, and it's more geared towards the actual translation in Japan. So they wanted to make it as close to possible, and the irony stated in my that it's very close to the NAS America translations that they do for their like Cold Steel games as
Yeah.
well as Daybreak games and Reverie. Like the way that they talk and the way that things get implemented and like the pacing, that is a lot more similar to the NS America stuff than the Exceed stuff, which was a lot more, as I like to say, they had a lot more creative liberties because of how things they had a lot of time to work on the translation because of how late they would be getting all the scripts. So it took forever back in the day from when Trails got released to it getting localized.
Yeah.
So this is also, in case you want to remember, this is the very first game of Trails that was released globally all over. So the translation, the localization, everything was released the same day as the Japanese game. So this is a first for NAS, this is a first for Neon Falcon.
Neon Falcon, yeah. They had been with NAS so long, I actually thought they were one company. Look,
yeah, it. I get confused sometimes too.
And to be super fair, I still, I don't understand business. I don't understand how things work. These people, again, Falcom has bounced between a lot of publishers throughout the years. I thought, my personal opinion, that NIS was the best home for them because NIS handled a lot of great things for them from the merch side of things. Hands up, that was great. They were great PR. It's people got to put respect to NIS names. The way, if you follow NIS Gaming, from how they manage their storefront, their pre-orders, everything, it's like a great well-oiled machine. You want your Disgaea games, you're getting them right there. Everything comes out like smooth, like it's like butter work for them. And I thought them and Falcon were tight working together, but they decided to go gung ho. So it is what it is. I'm glad I get more games, but times are changing. That's all I'm gonna say. I actually legitimately believe like, oh yeah, it's gonna be it was gonna be them two, but I guess not.
Yeah, it seems like Neon Falcon might be going to a bunch of different publishers because there's another game that they're releasing next month that will be Geese versus Trails in the Sky Alternative chapter. That's from a different publisher.
Yeah.
With Refight Games. So I wonder if they're just basically putting whoever wants to publish their now because they're a lot more friendly now with Exceed again.
Yeah.
Because Exceed is now doing remasters of the older Geese games that they had the original translations of in the first place.
Right, exactly. Which that's also a thing too. I think that they just like, if you want to publish my game, sure, and then they'll give you a check,
Yeah. So they are really just putting wherever and whichever one they trust. It's just funny because so Gung Ho, apparently one of the directors at Gung Ho used to be someone from NAS America back during the PS3 era, I want to say.
Oh wow.
So it's just weird to see because there's also people from I think Exceed who left from Exceed to go to Gung Ho 2. So this is just like almost like both sides are working on it.
Yeah, it's like all the crew, all the hands are together in this one.
Yeah, so it's just really interesting to see like how it's just how everything got worked out with people leaving from NS America to go to Exceed and Exceed to go to NS America, and then other people who left to go to Gung Ho. So it's just like there's just so many things going all over the place when it comes to people who work in Japan of the different companies. It's just crazy. But yeah, so Trails in the Sky, first chapter is amazing. A lot of people have started playing it, and I've actually noticed a lot of people on my own feed where people are starting it for the first time because they see how popular Trails gets in the discourse, even if it doesn't get popular and people buying the game.
Yeah, I'm glad people are giving it a try and trying the game out. It's a good game. It's a good series. I've also like seen some positive feedback from it. I feel like for myself playing the game, I played the demo. That's this on YouTube, and I played the game up. Like the only complaints I have about the game, and I don't. It's that So I'm a long time Falcon player. There's only one Legend of Heroes season not play. That was Cold Steel because I didn't like Cold Steel. I just not my jam. But I feel like Trails of the Sky remake is obviously using a lot of mechanics from Daybreak 1 and Daybreak 2, and some of the boss fights are Daybreak 1 and 2. This because Trails of the Sky was their first game, it was very simplified. I think Trails of the Sky does a really easy job of teaching you how to use the court system and the separate system and how to use upgrades on it, because a lot of these mechanics are just consistent in all their games. Let's just keep it out the way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do feel like my personal opinion of the game is that the game itself is very heavily built on a lot of Daybreak isms and Daybreak style mechanics. There's some Sky in them in there too, but it's so because it's so simplified in how it plays what it does. It feels like Tales of the Sky with Daybreak salt. Is that a bad thing? Not really, because in my opinion, it's modern enough to get people to play because Daybreak is the most modern Trails game there is.
Yep.
Yeah. My only complaint about it, though, it doesn't have some elements of the OG feel, but it doesn't really bother me as much because the storytelling and the English VA is fantastic. Johnny Yon Bosch not overly using the Ichigo voice is great. I've always told people years ago that Johnny Yon Bosch's best voice acting role was Renton from Eureka 7. Please check it out. I mean that quite seriously. He is that good in Eureka 7. Yeah.
Yeah, I really love the voice actors too, especially I think it's Matt Murphy who does Olivia in
Yeah,
this.
Olivia. Yeah, I also love how Olivia just straight up wants Princess Joshua for himself, which is I don't know how to feel about that, but shoot your shot, King.
Honestly, it's just hilarious that they actually also let him sing his own lyrics too. So before it was just like you just have like a little bit of like the lyre being played or whatever he would have.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this time he actually sings while the music gets played over his voice, and it's just amazing.
Pretty much, yeah. It's great. I think it's pretty funny how he got away with that. I'm like, you can't believe he can't keep getting away with this, literally.
I'm just really excited that it happened because I think all the Olivia scenes are amazing.
Oh God, yes.
Especially when they let him sing.
God, I think I have it in the stream. There's like one part that he just randomly follows Estelle to meet Governor Morgan. And he's like, "So where are we going? What are you doing here?" I thought we were gonna meet the guy. What are you doing here? Go home. Like that actually happened. I just couldn't believe that he legitimately was like, "Oh, I'm just it's just me, your good friend." What do you mean, your good friend?
Just I'm your good friend Olivia, the bard.
The bard. It's
okay, we will admit one thing: you are a bard.
Now you are a bard. Yes, that is very
Everything
true.
Everything else is false.
Yeah. Like it's just kind of crazy in that regard. And I do find it interesting though. It's kind of funny. I also like the fact that another thing too is the artwork animation of the game is top notch. The music, the game offers 3 OSTs. You have the original, the Vita version, the enhanced, and then you have the OG. So there's really no excuse. Yep. If you're a purist, you can get whatever version you want. It's viable.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I want to highlight this. I deeply like the fact they maintained the high speed mode in the game still there. I thought it wouldn't be there. Yes. I appreciate that. You have any idea
I
how is it a
was
skip?
worried if I was seeing if I was worried they might not do that too, but I'm glad that they did.
Yep, it's like, all right, it's time to keep schmoving. Because you want to run through, you want to run through some maps. You got to run through some maps, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just want to run through them. Like, yep. So it's really good. It's really really good.
Yeah, I call this the definitive way to play the Sky game now, or the first one.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Now we gotta wait for the second chapter and the third.
Gotta wait for the second, the third, and the fourth. We'll get there. Don't worry, we'll get there.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, that is one thing too to note is the second chapter is being worked on right now, the remake.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I feel like they might drop them on politely, maybe yearly or 6 months basis, but they have to obviously space the games, and that'd be a good idea. I personally think that after this project, I don't think they'll be focusing on doing other quote unquote remakes. And this is my honest opinion, right? They're a smaller company. Obviously, they want to get their first title out the way. You know, shouts to them guys. They're goats. The reason why is because they have to continue the universe. You know, that's another thing. But another reason why is that, like, if you guys don't know, Falcom uses their own internal engine. I believe it's called the FKU engine. Their own internal engine. So they update it and make it do other things, essentially. So
so they have their own engine that they basically created for Daybreak.
Yeah.
And they've been using that also, I think, for the Yeast games too.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
They basically perfected it, which is great.
Which is good. Yeah, good for the whole family. Like I legit support that. Good for the whole family. But every engine kind of runs out of steam at some point.
Yeah.
This is not an insult. It's not like, haha, you're being that guy again. Like, no. Every engine runs out of steam at one point. This is something that's a little bit true, my friend. This is a little bit true. So, I personally, I think that in order for them to, you know, do the good stuff and do the good stuff well, I think that they might have to update their engines. They might have to go back to the drawing board because, personally, this is personal. I think the Daybreak engine is kind of hitting its peak. Like after Horizon, I think that's the furthest that engine can go, in my opinion. From what I've seen from Horizon, the trailers and some of the stuff that was out there. Okay, I'm just speculating. It's all speculation. Scott agreed. Scott, this is speculation, right?
So I wonder if they're going to use the new art style that they use for Trails in the Sky first chapter.
Bingo.
For the games after Horizon and probably whatever Horizon 2 is going to be called.
It's going to be called Horizon 2 Van Arctide Boogaloo, where he drives a giant truck into the sun.
I mean, if that's how you do it.
I'm supporting that because if we don't, we're really in trouble. We're gonna be in real trouble if that doesn't work. That's all I gotta say. But no, I do love the new art direction. It looks great. It looks very detailed. I love how they're able to maintain the OG facial expressions from the original games and put in there. That's really good. That's really good. That's really good. That's another thing I like about the game. One thing I don't like about the game is the fan bases, the awkward whiplash from the fan base, from like not understanding translations to like saying, like, oh yeah, but so here's a slight spoiler. So in the XC translation, Estelle, who's best girl, made the one mistake of by the way, you can't hear it, but so her animation is drawn angrily, and she essentially makes fun of Olivier wanting Joshua's booty, right? But it had a more angry tone to it, right?
Yeah.
While the remake version, the cutscene, which I've seen it, it's there. The cutscene, it leans towards more of a a slight confusion. Whoa, you had that kind of preference? Like, what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Which is also just as funny and very Estelle because she's also blunt and naive. Now, in my
Yes.
opinion, the blunt naivete is a lot better than the OG expression of her angry face, which you've seen it, with her eyes, her eyebrow is done. You one of those been like other boys that comes out more angrily. That comes out with like much more distress from an expression standpoint. Even without voice acting, that could be seen as confrontational. So,
Yeah.
I got to give credit to translation for still adding that joke, but adding a better levity to it. That's it.
Yeah. I think it's also closer to how the Japanese translation is too.
Whoa, 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 whoa. The XC translation is the real translation.
Okay.
This is not a joke. There are some fans that actually said that, and at that moment in my life, I realized there was quote unquote no God. I am not joking. There are some fans that actually unironically said that.
Yeah, it's weird. We are literally in a weird phase where people in the Trails community believe that the first localization is the only one that matters.
Right, and the past translation didn't happen, and I'm like, wait, what? How did you get here?
Yeah.
Which scares me because like from a technical standpoint, right? From a standpoint, it kind of shows that time is a flat circle. We should be wary that time is a flat circle, but it also kind of shows like a very weird like I want to say like does anybody remember anything? Like are we just lost in Les Sauce?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe we are.
Maybe we were lost in the sauce. Maybe that's it. Yeah, but in a very it's like because I remember people like yo I remember people saying politely this translation was booty.
Yeah, it's funny because once NAS America came in, a lot more people started liking Exceed's translation, which I don't dislike Exceed's translation. I do
No,
think they added a lot of extra like personality to a lot of the text that they were given. And I also really love their thing with the treasure chests, where they gave a different message in every single one, which was fantastic.
that was so good. That is so true. It's like yep. That was
And
that.
then the Geoforce translation did that same thing for the Crossbell arc that they eventually even brought into the NS America localization.
That's
So we
true.
got the treasure chest in there too.
Yeah, that's so good. Yep. Actually, that translation was a barrier, but I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna speak for Lloyd here. But
Saying
no.
he overcame that barrier to get to Reverie.
That's that. I stand by that. Yeah, I stand by that. But no. I do feel like that's my only complaint with the Trails in the Sky series. It's just how some of the fans has reacted towards this game. I feel like this is my honest opinion. I think Falcom's in the best position they've ever been in. They actually got mainstream acclaim with this game. I think they. I wouldn't be surprised with the right push that Yeast Nordics get the same Proud Nordics get the same acclaim, or the next Yeast game gets the same treatment. I wouldn't be surprised if the success of Trails of the Sky also boosts sales to Trails of the Horizon or Daybreak series. I wouldn't be surprised because
Yeah.
because they both have again a similar system of modernization. So overall, though, I like this game. I give it a hard, I kid you not, 4.5 out of 5. The why it's not a solid 5 out of 5 for me is that again the daybreak mechanics are very noticeable if you do play them, so that kind of takes points away from me. And what takes points away from me is some of the new mechanics of boss fighting is a bit unfair. The rage mechanic does feel a bit wonky at times. And another mechanic that gets me upset is that Estelle didn't save the crossbow. She did the crossbow liberation. I thought that was canon. Why didn't it happen in the first game? I thought she taught Lloyd to overcome her barrier. Scott, what's going on here?
I mean, maybe she did, and she's just holding back.
I mean, she did touch. She did went to that Royal Academy, taught the Iborians how to fight. I mean, that's what I believe. Oh god, that'd be pretty funny. If that actually became a thing. It's like actually, I taught them. Like, you did what? I taught them how to fight. It was me. It was
It's
me.
all
Yeah,
me.
it was all me. Yeah, it was me, Lloydo. Oh my god, that would be crazy. But I do feel like though that's my only complaint. Like it's a good game, but it's solid. I would recommend this RPG to people to play it. For those, and you mentioned too in your review that's on the Outerhaven website and the YouTube page in the review that what Trails game should I play? There's so many. This one, play this one,
This is
this
the
one, this one right here. Put it directly in your eyeballs. Download the game directly into your eyeballs and play it. Okay,
Yeah, just do it.
just
It's
do it.
easy.
Like just that's the one. That's the one. If there's any other game you need to play, that's the one you need to play, okay?
Yes. This is the definitive first entry to play.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the one that you want to play, that you should play, and if you don't play, we'll think lowly of you, jokingly. Or not. Who knows? Who knows?
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I do feel like though, like the game did a really good job. 5 out of 5 would win again. You know, it's a fantastic game. And, I recommend people try it. Grab it aside. It's up there. You can check out the streams I have on it. I'll be streaming more of it in the future. I will be streaming more of it in the future. Trust me. I wanna beat those towers. Was it Jade, Amber, Topaz? I forgot the last one.
Let's see, the Amber Tower, the Topaz. Oh, the Ivory Tower.
Ivory. There you go. Ivory. See, got it. Ivory. And if I remember correctly, OG, the Ivory Tower is a good 3 hours of your life. So let's go.
Yeah.
You got anything you want to add about the game, like critics aside, your impressions, the community, the good times? Kondo-san did respect us, though. I heard Kondo-san's cool, though. I can say that much.
I really enjoyed actually them implementing so many of the future Trails games things, like the chain attack system from Cold Steel.
Bingo. Yep.
They have the burst attack from the Crossbell arc.
Mm-hmm.
They have the Daybreak action system, but they still retained the Sky orbit system.
Right, which is the
because-
most simplest.
Yes, it is.
You know the sad part is, if I put them more together, I'll take that. It's a 5 out of 5. You know why? No, not. You just remember. You know why it's a 5 out of 5 now? Think about it. It is a Trails game that managed to combine all the elements of Trails game together, and none of it feel like it overlap each other in the wrong spot. None of it feel out of place.
They do not.
They do
actually, I think, melded them all really well.
Yeah, which is unironically kind of good. Like that's
Yes.
that's actually crazy good. Not gonna lie. That is some crazy good stuff. Yeah. So it's a 5 out of 5 now. I moved up. All right, there we go. That's all it took. Scott once again convincing me to up my game score. It's a 5.
Got to show you what to love. No.
Gotta show what to love. Next day would convince me. You know what? You should love playing. What's that class I've been playing? You should love Dancer and PvP. Dancer is the only class you should play PvP. But I'm not doing any damage. It's not about the damage. What do you mean it's not about the damage? It's about the damage, Spider-Man.
Everybody else with Bard.
God, Bard is not a support class. Bard is a troll class that ruins people's lives. Bard is designed to actually be war crimes, and I stand by that. Oh my god. But speaking of which, honestly, Trails of the Sky, first chapter, amazing game. If you want more information about it, check out the review on the Outerhaven page. You can check out the video review on the YouTube page. You can check out my streams of it if you want to watch me just go through it and talk about the game. It does a really good job teaching you everything. The game has a pretty good tutorial system. Not gonna lie, pretty solid.
It does.
Oh, my small complaint. I thought Charizard would sound much more haughty with a ho ho laugh. A ho 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 ho. Not ladylike, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of things to talk more about, let's talk about the games I'm gonna recommend you this month. All right. You ready for this,
It's gonna
Scott?
be a big one.
It's gonna be a big one.
Yep.
All right. So the first game we're recommending is Trails of the Sky first chapter. I can't imagine why we would recommend this. This is probably one of the greatest RPGs of 2025. I'm not joking about that part, seriously. It might be the greatest RPG of 2025.
No, it is definitely my game of the year right now.
It's up there for me, and it's up there for me. It's up. I have to put this down. Like, it's hard to me to put this down. I because I'm streaming this game, I legit thought about quitting my PvP stream for 14 to get my Sky on, because I haven't got Krosner yet. I want to find my boy Cross and his not wife, jokingly. If you guys know the joke, it's like, I'm sorry, when I found them in Reverie, it's like, hi, it's me, Krosner. I'm like, what are you doing here, bro? It's like, yeah, this job was to end like 4 years ago, but I guess I'm here. And this is my mother-in-law. This is my mother-in-law. That's not even a joke that actually happened. He's like, I was hired and I never left. I can't, and I stand by that. But yeah, this game is amazing. It's graphically impressive. It plays well. It's the goat of the Trail series right now. Yeah. I think unironically, if the Trail series want to continue, this is a small tidbit. If they can simplify the orbital system but maintain all the complex turn mentality ARPG, they might legitimately be the Atlas Killer.
Ooh, that's some big words.
Yeah, that's some big words. Not the Square Enix Killer. Trust me, Square Enix has games in their pocket that you can't touch them. Nobody is beating Dragon Quest. That is not happening in this lifetime.
No.
Dragon Quest have to make like 10 years of bad games for someone to come up on them. And I mean horrifically bad. So yeah, so that's the first recommendation of the month. It's Trails of the Sky first chapter. So Scott, what are you going to recommend for us here?
So I think I will recommend Trails in the Sky first chapter.
Interesting choice there. How does that make you feel?
Yeah.
Why would you go that direction?
I think it's my game of the year this year, and I think because of that, you deserve to buy it 3 times on all the consoles or systems that you have access to.
That's interesting. That's pretty crazy. 3 times just to play the same game?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Did you know that Estelle actually started the Ober Revolution?
I do now.
You do now, yeah. That's actually a spoiler. This game is so good, I'm willing to give a free spoiler. That's right. It was actually Estelle Bright who started the Ober Revolution at the age of 11 years old. This girl.
That's impressive.
This girl who went out of her way to save her brother, save a farm, punch a god, started the Ober Revolution.
I mean, to be fair, if you know Estelle, she would absolutely punch God.
Yeah. And successfully, too. Let's look at it around it. There's no one else who can punch God like punching God.
No.
Yeah.
I think Estelle wins when it comes to who can punch God the best.
Yeah, I stand by that. Yeah, I stand by that as a continuum. And with that out the way, we gotta look into the next game we're gonna recommend to you guys. This is gonna be crazy. We're gonna recommend Trails of the First Sky chapter. I don't know how this game did it, but I recommend it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just it's a game of it's game of the year. Let's see why do I recommend this game? It's made by Falcom. You know, it's hard not to. They don't really miss as much. This game has great story, great world building, excellent character dialogue. Probably, I kid you not, back in the day and now, probably one of the best female leads in a video game of all time.
Yeah.
Yep. And her father is not an alcoholic.
Finally. I mean, what?
Well, yeah, it's not alcoholic. So I recommend this game so you can see that. Also, here's a small tidbit here. I actually do like how the details they put into some of the characters for A Trail of the Sky. I love the details they put for Cassius's work running around gear, because Cassius Bright is a super high level bracer, but you know what? He looks like just a regular farmhand. Don't judge a book by its cover. He does not look like someone you should take seriously, but you should really take seriously, because that man will hurt you. Yeah. So yeah, check it out. Also, Scott and I have one more game to recommend to you guys. One more game we're going to recommend you guys for this month to come out. And that game is Trails in the Sky first chapter. Oh my god. Oh my god. How could we recommend this game, Scott? How could we do it?
Because we did.
We did.
We definitely think you should play and buy this game.
Yes, we did.
Because this is the greatest game of all year.
All year. Nothing else matters. Don't play anything else.
Exactly.
No. You don't need anything else. We don't need Dragon Quest 7 remake. We don't need Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD remake. That is out the window. We don't need Final Fantasy Tactics. Yeet that out of here. Yeet! We don't need that. Yeet it. We have Trails of the Sky first chapter again.
Yes.
Yes. Also, Olivier has a gun and he can sing
Yeah. That's a huge plus.
Yeah. I also find it funny that because how his gun property works in combat, he's obviously he's not a joke, but he is insanely strong. But he's able to, in the real-time battle system, he's able to legitimately make quick work of enemies because they can't get close to him because he'll just hit the dodge
Yes.
Also, if you buy Trails of the first chapter, I hear Dorothy might actually take a photo of you.
Oh.
Who want a photo of Dorothy, the greatest photographer of the liberal media? I'm sorry, liberal news. Don't want to say that too hard, you know. Don't want to let people know about the liberal media.
Those propaganda pieces.
Yeah, propaganda pieces. Writing horrible things about the Empire and how allegedly the army corrupt. Allegedly. The army will never be corrupt. God.
Never.
Never. You know what it reminds me of? Remember that scene? You've ever seen that scene in it was I think it was an alien movie where the woman said, why would the government lie to us? Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
But unironically though, Trails of the First Sky, would recommend this game. It's so fantastic. The amount of attention and detail and care this game has from its cutscenes to graphic characterizations to even in the background characters of people talking to each other, the conversation change, the way they interact in town. This is a game that was made with love and care in the right ways you'll notice and appreciate. And I'm just deeply surprised they got it done this way. I was just hoping for a remaster. I'm not even joking. I was just hoping for a remaster. That would have been bar was so low. Nah, we'll give you a remake. So thank you, Falcon, for doing that. We really appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's gonna do it for Support Save Scumming Save number 9. Thank you everyone that has watched and or listened to the 9th episode of Support Save Scumming. Sithscott and I'll be back next month with RPG goodness. And if you're not Save Scumming, start now.
Do it.
All right, and buy Trails of the Sky first chapter. This is actual legit. Do it. Do it. All right. And we were not paid by NRS Falcon, so this is not a paid shill, which is just regular old shilling. Okay.
This is the unpaid shilling.
This exactly. So we'll see you guys in the next one.
See ya.